Hello, everybody. This is Tahiera Monique Brown with another Tahieraisms. Today is April the 3rd, 2014, and you know that this is the month that they will be celebrating Easter. Wow, it's unbelievable. Anyway, today they said it's going up to 80 degrees. I've been looking around in my neighborhood and looking at the gigantic ant mounds, which tells me there's going to be rain. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a little country girl, and that was one of my signs to recognize it's going to rain a little bit. But the name of my speech today is called The Candle of Knowledge. You know, a lot of people don't understand that knowledge isn't free in the way that some people may think that you just are born with everything that you need. You got to give something into receiving knowledge. That means getting an education. Some people learn through the hard knocks in life. But I was reflecting back on when I did a speech for the Love Lady Center here in Birmingham, Alabama. They house about 400 women inmates that have been released, and their children, in a beautiful establishment that is Christian based. And the women do engagements, and I was invited to speak to one of those, and it was a tear-jerker moment for me to see some of the women go through a routine testifying about what they've been through and where they've come. If you're ever in Birmingham, Alabama, get familiar with the Love Lady Center. I think people need to really contribute to their cause, even if it's just a little of your time or your talents, money. Just give to this organization, the Love Lady Center. I began my speech with a poem that I wrote, and it reflects the horrors that goes on behind closed doors, and it's called "Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep Behind Closed Doors." Now I lay me down to sleep. Precious memories has no place here, where a child's life has no joy. Roaring thunder of anger behind closed doors. Now I lay me down to sleep, where no one says, "I love you," where a child's heart is broken by words that destroy their spirits behind closed doors. Now I lay me down to sleep, where the cupboards are empty, where a child is starving, clothes tattered and eyes sinking behind closed doors. Now I lay me down to sleep to the sounds of rapid gunfire, where a child sleeps on the floor, covering his ears behind closed doors. Now I lay me down to sleep, where the memories stir into a child's short, horrific life. The death of a parent is behind closed doors. Now I lay me down to sleep behind closed doors. Behind closed doors, I lay me down to sleep. I wrote that because I can remember the times when I would hear stories of other children and can imagine the suffering. And I remember when I was younger and hearing my parents fight, it was horrifying to me because you just never knew how it would end. And when I was a battered wife, I can only imagine what my children were hearing, and when we were hostages, what it was like for them. So I wrote that poem, Behind Closed Doors, Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep. But when I spoke at the Love Lady Center, this is how my speech went. We've come to a place in our lives where we truly must make a decision to live life free of those things which we harbor within us that holds us back from reaching our full potential. Some of us do not have anything from our past to use as a guide to live by. We were abused before we were even released from the wound. But today we have an opportunity to surrender to something greater than ourselves. It's a simple question that for so many years went unanswered. It's a feeling that has never been felt. It's a tear that has never been shed. It's a cry out that's never been yelled. It's a hug that we've longed for. It's so close. It huddles over those who wish to receive it. It rushes to those who call out to it sincerely. But you must do a simple deed. You must say 2 simple words. I surrender. I surrender to those who reach out to help me. I surrender to release the something from deep within. I surrender the pain and heartache. I surrender. I want it. I need it. I call upon it, and I surrender to receive it. The it is faith. After I made those few comments, I read a poem that I wrote, and it called Courage. You have to have courage to practice faith. You have to walk through the fire to retrieve the candle of knowledge. Reach out and light it with flames of hope. You have to carry the lighted candle throughout the rest of your life. It takes faith, and you must practice it every day. You have to be strong enough to persevere. You have to be patient enough to wait, and caring enough to love, and holy enough to suffer through the cold and bitter times to appreciate the good times. It takes courage. I surrender. This is a phrase that I meditate on when I surrender. It was one of those times in my life when I was at the end of my rope. I had done everything that I could to save myself. So I had to start saying things that I believe that would help me through being a hostage. I have faith in God. Because I have faith in God, I am strong. Since I have strength where I have faith in God, I am healthy. I am healthy because I believe in the faith that I have in God. Therefore, I am beautiful. Because I am a child who believes that I have faith, I have everlasting life. And because of this, I am rich. I am rich because I have a storehouse which holds faith, wisdom, hope, peace, and love. But most of all, I have a Father like no earthly father who loves me unconditionally. He is a Father who has given me the world as a place to learn and to know Him. He is the true and living God. I surrender. Do ask for help. Do get to know who you really are. What do you wish to achieve in life? Learn to follow instructions. Set some goals for your life. Take one step at a time. Sometimes the steps may seem unsteady at first, but step anyhow. Remember, it's the early bird that gets the worm. Be willing to put forth an effort to get started early in the day. Remember, when you have a dream and you do not wake up to fulfill a dream, then nothing comes to dreamers but a dream. My slogan is, hold your head up high and keep your dreams alive. Who am I? Some of you may be called a nobody, but I am the nobody who would tell you you are more than a somebody because you are a child of God. What do I do now? Never forget where you came from and what you came through. It will help you to know how far you've come, and it will help you to know that you are on your way to doing what's necessary, not to go back there again. You know, when I was writing my book, I was struggling within about the words that I was placing in this handheld object that was telling the life of my story. And I mean telling the life of my story is that I have realized that more people read it and then they come to me and saying, I need to breathe after reading that. I need to take a moment, or I had to read that again, or I had to share this with someone. It brings the words to life. And the words on that page came to life within me the first moment I started the first page, and I wrote that book in the 4 days that it took me to write it when I was in Boston. It took me years to get there, but I wrote the book in 4 days. And I knew a word was placed in my heart, and it was called, I sing in spite of the chains because I am. I sing in spite of the chains. I sing to the blue skies as the trees whisk the breezes, as a tune of grace brushes the seas. I sing to the infinite elements to reach out above all eternity, to say, Lord, I love you because I know you see, and one day you will set me free. I sing in spite of the chains. I sing to the melody of the harps that the angels play as they salute the coming of the Lord. I maintain a hope. I maintain a peace. I know his name is Jesus. I know his voice, and he is as free as the wind. I sing in spite of the chains. I sing until the melody torches the soul. I sing until it sears the light of day to bring hope of a well-lit way. I sing until tears of joy fall from the clouds above. I sing to the ear a tune that the angels play day and night. I sing until the children releases the dove of peace. And until then, I will sing, sing, sing. You know, they promised us an 80-degree temperature today. Of course, we don't know how that's really going to turn out. And we won't know that until we know, right? Well, you know, on Sundays, we bring Victor's Brown to do his A Minute with Victor. And this Saturday, I will be interviewed by Roy Williams with WAGG here in little old Birmingham, Alabama at Summit Media from 3 to 4. And if you got iHeartRadio, you'll be able to listen in, or you'll be able to call the show, and I will probably do another announcement to bring that up on where you need to call. But I'm looking forward to the interview with Roy Williams. He's a great friend of mine. Love him, and looking forward to that interview. Well, you know what? It's time for me to wind down here. I'm just rattling on and on and on like all country girls do. I'm not saying all country girls, but this one do. But anywho, this is Tahiera Monique Brown signing off. And, you know, one thing I want to let you know before I sign off is I'm definitely working on my nonprofit, getting it in order. Got a lawyer, working on got a great board, working on trying to do an event in May. So y'all just keep praying for me and having faith in what I'm trying to accomplish. Hey, what am I doing? I'm still rattling on. Hey, y'all, this is Tahiera Monique Brown signing off with some more music by Bobby White. Y'all know that I believe in miracles. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye.